Howdy. How are ya? Welcome to the Completely Unnecessary Podcast for Tuesday, December 15th, 2020. The weather's getting frightful outside. Alongside Ian Ferguson, I am Pat Country. On the show today, Zack Snyder is cool. I'll also be talking about CD Projekt Red apologizing for Cyberpunk issues, tons of Star Wars and MCU stuff in the works, a Watermelon Games Paprium update, which is surprising, and lots more stuff. Ian, how was your weekend? We did a certain NES Marathon, right?
We did a certain NES Marathon, and it went well. What did we end up raising in total?
We raised, it's still open for you guys to, I don't know when it shuts down technically on Tiltify, $16,840 to support Feeding America. That's a lot of meals for hungry Americans. Thanks to anyone who participated, who donated, obviously, to the guests for coming out. We had Norm on the phone at one point, and we had Andre, Gerard, and Alex on the phone. So it was a good time. So we had an AVGN cameo. You can rewatch it on my Twitch channel, Country Code. Go back and watch it if you want. No, it was fun.
Thanks to all the sponsors. Thanks to the moderators in the chat room.
Mods.
Everyone who made it happen came together in 2 weeks, and you all raised a ton of money, which honestly more than I expected for the sort of year we've been having, and even in comparison to the marathon last year, which went just over 24 hours, and we beat last year's amount by
like 4,000.
Yeah,
almost.
A significant amount. So
yeah, so it probably, in terms of, this was the shortest marathon we've ever done, but we probably raised the most money per hour than any other marathon. So that's good. Thanks to you all. And Pat won back his pro wrestling title. That was
yep, which we can't find. So if I can't find it, we'll have to replace the belt. Yeah, I have no idea where.
How do you lose the belt? It's like that big.
Vonnie is very good at cleaning and shuffling stuff around, and it probably just got put in the spare bedroom, and I don't know where it is.
Okay, likely story. Yeah. All right.
I mean, I don't need to hold on to the belt that badly.
Well, I'm just saying it's okay. Well, we'll get it at some point. I'll repo it at some point. Then it was fun. We did our yearly Tecmo Super Bowl Coaches Challenge, which was always a fun highlight. More fun than it should seem.
Yeah, that and the Coaches Challenge in Tecmo Super Bowl, and every year that we do Tecmo Cup Soccer.
Yeah, it's always fun.
They're fun.
And then the ice hockey this year was 16-1. So Ian held his own at first. He
did all right.
He did it right for like half the first period. Then the wall broke. The wall came.
Yeah, but the wall broke, and we started talking, and I started caring significantly less. But I've had worse years.
Oh yes, you have. I think you had I think it was 20-2 1 year or something like that, or
I was like 26 to something 1 year.
26, so it was respectable. If you had the 15, if 16 and a half was the line, you beat the line there, Ian. If it was negative 16.
Yeah.
So besides that, the Electoral College voted, which most importantly means Pat gets his payout on predicted.org finally.
Oh, nice.
My money was tied up, and now my money's out. Some of them are not closed yet. Some are not closed. Some are not closed. Half my money is back in my pocket where it should be with my gains. But there's still ones open there. What party will win Wisconsin is still open? Give me my money. Give me my money. It's decided. Pay that man his money. Give me my money. Thank you to if any folks bet against me. Thank you so much for the money. We'll see you again hopefully in 4 years. And this time I'll get the odds even better up front, so I'll make even more money. So I appreciate that. Out there. Game Awards happened, Ian.
They did.
This is probably the first year in 5 years I did not watch 1 second. I try to follow along at some point and complain about, well, there's no awards, but this year I'm like, I don't care, fuck this. Plus, I was prepping for the marathon as well, so that's probably why, because this happened on what, Thursday? Yeah. I was trying to prep and not think about other stuff. So, was it Thursday?
It was Thursday.
So what did you get out of the Game Awards? What did you like?
I did not intend to pay attention either, but I was at work, and it was just in front of my face all day. So I was paying attention to it. I really didn't get anything out of it. I don't want to sound overly negative.
It's an E3 event at this point.
It's an E3 event,
That's what
and
it is.
it's
we don't have an E3 this year, so
it's as much about announcements as it is the awards. And every time that I get my hopes up that maybe something out of the ordinary will win an award, like Hades was up for many awards, and The Last of Us 2 ended up taking many of the awards. A game that was split down the middle critically when it came out, and also was created under tons and tons of crunch, ended up taking a lot of the awards. And it feels cynical. It's not the people who shout there was money involved or buy-offs. That's not how it is, but it is a case of a bunch of people throwing an awards show who don't want to upset the status quo too much. They exist to kind of make each other feel comfortable. A game such as The Last of Us 2 that had to be created under tons and tons of crunch should not get best game direction. It just shouldn't. You're not managing your title.
But it would be the same game potentially with or without the crunch, though. I'm talking
about direction, actual direction. I'm not even talking about game of the year. I'm talking about the direction and the creation of the game. You should not receive the best game direction.
But is that a qualifier for that, though?
Yes.
When they vote, it is. Crunch is a qualifier for.
I would say if you have to crunch and you're getting an award for best direction, you should not be getting that award.
Okay, I mean when they give best director to a film, I mean. I'm sure there's crunching on those films.
Maybe it's time to change that.
Okay. When I look at direction, I look at that's more the artistic side, not like the production side of it.
Okay. Anyways,
okay. But that's your argument. Okay. Fair enough.
Other than that, it was nice to see No Man's Sky finally win the continuing game award. Basically, there's an award every year for best continuing game. They usually put things like Fortnite and Apex Legends on there. No Man's Sky was on there last year, and they did not win. They did win this year, and it was funny watching him accept the award, because when they were announcing it, you can see when they showed the screens of all the potential winners in the background, you can see him grab a beer and take a drink. He was not expecting to win. So when the award was announced, he was genuinely surprised, and it was nice to see. I think all the people who were upset with No Man's Sky when it came out were justified, but I've never seen a developer or a studio go out of their way the way Hello Games has to turn that around and make it right. They didn't just patch it a couple times and say, fuck it, we're moving on to our next game. They've stuck with that game for 4 years.
They saw there's a long tail probably. If we improve the game, more people will buy it. We'll turn around our rep. We can put out a new game maybe down the line. Now
they already did. They put out a smaller indie game earlier this year, this summer. They had they're a small team. When that game was made, it was 20 people, and I don't think it's much larger than that now.
Yeah, it's for that team of that size for a game like that, it's a big deal. That was at the forefront of the PS4, advertising. So, let's see what else. A roguelike tactical game, Endless Dungeon, coming to consoles and PC. That was announced. There you go. That's interesting. Did Nintendo have any announcement out there? No, they do their own thing. They announced a new Smash character that half people bitched about, of course. What, Sephiroth?
Sephiroth is coming. And honestly, most of the people I saw were very happy about
There's only people bitching about it, which is like, whatever.
There always is. It seemed to be less than normal. I didn't see, the outrage that happened, like when Terry, was suggested it and people didn't know who it was. So it was nice. Yeah, it's another anime sword boy, but that's kind of what Smash revolves around.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's the only thing I get. It's like, yes, another guy with hair with the sword. It's like, yeah, we have like 12 of those. I get that. How about Perfect Dark? That was kind of cool to see. A little. I'm looking at the trailer now.
Yeah, it's interesting to see that they go back to it every once in a while. There was one at the launch of the 360, Perfect Dark Zero.
So it's been a while. 14 years.
Yeah. Wow. Also, a bunch of stuff that I don't know enough necessarily to comment on, but there was Dead Space spiritual sequel was announced. Left 4 Dead spiritual sequel called Back 4 Blood was announced. I'm actually kind of looking forward to that. trying to see what else. Oh, they showed that Vin Diesel is going to be in the new Ark the Dinosaur Hunter. In Ark 2. And he's going to be...
He's basically a dinosaur hunter.
A dinosaur hunter.
Yeah, he's basically Turok. Vin Diesel is Turok, almost. Super Meat Boy Forever launch date trailer. I didn't know that was even coming out. Evil Dead the game looks interesting. I saw the trailer of that. It looks like a co-op killing, they're not zombies or deadites, whatever. But they look like zombies, though. That's what's kind of weird. It's like a zombie thing, but it's a co-op game where Ash is there and you play as another character. And then, of course, just to get under my skin, just to do it.
Oh, yeah, I saw.
Just to do it. Epic announced a limited time bundle for their online shooter Warframe with Unreal Tournament weapon bundle.
Yeah.
So just to tweak you that they realize that franchise still exists, we'll throw three awesome weapons from that game, because the weapons are awesome, into another game and give you that. There you go. Just to do it. Just to do it. And you get a rocket launcher, a flak cannon, and a shock rifle. That's what you get. I have no idea about this game or what you do, but they're going to get you those awesome weapons in the game.
Yeah, I don't know much about Warframe. People seem to say that it's one of the better free-to-play games. But I downloaded it and tried to get into it and immediately was like, this is too much for me.
Too involved?
Too involved.
Well, they're aliens with armor on?
I guess. I honestly didn't get far enough in to really figure it out. I was like, maybe I don't want to play this. And I just
there's some aliens on Unreal Tournament. A lot of guys with sunglasses looking cool. And,
who doesn't love cool guys?
Basically, the guys from Unreal... went into Gears of War. Like, it's like those are the same guys.
Yes.
Went into Gears of War. That's basically the similar sort of like look to them. And gals. There's gals in Unreal as well. That's one of the cool things about Unreal. Not to spin up Unreal. It's one of the earlier games like that where you customize your character. First person shooter in the late 90s. It was very interesting to do that. Then you can download skins and fiddle around and do stuff. Anyway, so that was a Game Awards. But we got also a real reveal of the Ghosts and Goblins Resurrection. Oh boy, this looks pretty good. This was kind of surprising. This is coming out in was it February? February. So I always like to get these trailers like only 2 months before the game comes out, because it's like, oh shit, we probably know it's definitely coming out, and it's not a long wait. That's the way to do it. You keep it close to the vest.
Keep the cards close to your heart.
Keep them right there. So, what did you think about this trailer here?
I'm interested in playing it, but I have to be honest with you, I'm not a fan of the art style.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm not.
You know why I like it? You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of sort of like pop-up book art that's old.
I can see that. It's like it's weird when I look at it. I'm right on the borderline of liking it, but there's just something about the way it moves that throws it all off for me. It's close. It's very close to something that I'd like, but yeah, I don't know.
It doesn't look like the generic 3D regular shitty graphics on half these games. It's a little bit different than that. You know what I mean? It's a little bit more refined than that, a little more stylized.
Yeah.
At least to me.
They tried something new. It doesn't quite hit the mark for me, but I will still play the game. I'll still give it a shot.
Like when you look at the anime, like look at the big characters, it almost looks like it's hand drawn graphics. Mm-hmm. Like they hand draw some of this stuff in. It looks like I said, it looks like, because I have a pop-up book that's like sort of gothic themed. I went back and found it online because I remember it horrifying me as a child, and I bought it. I don't know if I ever showed you that. And it kind of has like a gothic almost tinge to the style here. So I'm not the biggest fan of the franchise because of the difficulty, but I appreciate the style and the theme of it. And so yeah, this is a game. What do you think it's probably cost? Like $15 for this? $20?
15 to 20.
Yeah, I think it's. I'm more bullish than Ian on that, surprisingly.
What I do think is interesting is they did announce a Capcom arcade collection. I can't remember exactly
I didn't see that.
It's called. Yeah,
I think Game Awards announced that?
Yes. Or they announced it online in tandem with the announcement of this on the Game Awards. So it will come with, I believe it's 1943 for free, and then they're going to be doing a bunch of different download packages that cover various eras. I don't have it directly in front of me, but I think it's like 82 to 88, 88 to like 91, and then like 91 to 2000 or something like that.
So you'll pay like $10 per pack or whatever. Something like that.
Something like that. I'm always into the arcade game package collections, especially if it's ported well. I don't know who's porting this, but of course everyone's already asking, hoping that M2 is doing the porting. I believe that comes out in February, and I'm looking forward to that.
You can buy last-minute Christmas presents at ultimatenintendo.com. It's the 15th. I would highly recommend.
Order them now.
Order them
right this
right
second.
as you're hearing the podcast on your iPod. If you still have a first gen iPod from 2000, order right now, because the warehouse gets backed up, and then the shipping them, medium mail, depending where you are, can take up to 5 days. Things slow down. Get your order in at ultimatenintendo.com. Also, you got enamel pins. You got the RBI baseball stickers. I sold some here. We've sold a lot of T-shirts. The My Man T-shirt is on sale for $14.99, and we've sold a bunch of those. A lot of mediums left. Not a lot of medium My Man wearers right now. So get your medium My Man shirts. But yeah, ultimatenintendo.com. Get in your book order today. Get it today, and you'll have a good chance to get it before Christmas. If you order it by Friday, I'm hoping you're in the Midwest, closer to the warehouse, to get it in a couple of days.
How do you send your packages?
Have I sent them?
Yeah, how do you send them?
Oh, those just go the first class, but the books go from the warehouse media mail.
Okay. No, I was just going to say, for all the shit people give the USPS, they're usually pretty good around Christmas.
Yeah,
you give them
slight delays.
You give them 3 days, and they know that everyone's waiting until the last minute. I have embarrassingly sent out Christmas packages with 3 days to go, and people have gotten them. But I would not recommend doing that. So
no, because you see that people rush even a week before. The weird thing, I guess the good thing this year is that Christmas is on a Friday, so this weekend's the last chance for everyone to sit down and buy presents. That's 5 days before. There's a shot that you can get it shipped there by Thursday, but it's not guaranteed you'll get there by Thursday,
right?
Because they don't deliver mail on Christmas. So you basically want your stuff in the mail by Friday, like a full 7 days before, to have a chance, even for first class, depending on where you are. But ultimatenintendo.com. There you go. Go for it. We want to skip about the Scottish parents thing.
Yeah, we're.
You're Scottish, but we'll skip it.
By Scottish parents. Okay, Zack Snyder's in the news again.
He's always cool
for being a really cool dude. Look, I don't have the energy to rail on this for much longer than just this point anymore. But Zack Snyder, I was talking, I believe, yesterday or the day before. It was on the internet yesterday about how his new 4-hour cut, highly anticipated, according to EW, is going to be likely receiving an R rating. And
for a theatrical release, it said. Might get a theatrical release.
Yeah, here's one piece of information nobody knows. He says the movie is insane and so epic and is probably rated R. That's one thing I think will happen, that it will be an R-rated version for sure. There's one scene where Batman drops an F-bomb. Cyborg is not too happy with what's going on with his life before he meets the Justice League, and he tends to speak his mind. And Steppenwolf is pretty much just hacking people in half. So the rating would be due to violence and profanity. Probably both. Fuck yeah, dude! I can't, wow. What is there more to say? You can't satirize the man. He is the embodiment of a 14-year-old who wants attention.
Yes, it's all and we're
giving it to him.
When he talks about superhero stuff, it's always about, oh, it's cool because Batman just beat up this guy. It's never about the underlying themes of the superheroes or why people are into the superhero, like why people enjoy Superman for what it represents. What does Wonder Woman represent? It's never that. It's always someone gets their ass kicked. It's that's part of the superhero experience. That's not what draws you in directly to the superhero experience in general.
Zack Snyder is the type of person who looks at Judge Dredd and at face value goes, yeah, that's a cool dude, instead of realizing that it's satire.
Yeah, Spider-Man beats up bank robbers all the time. That's not necessarily why I bought the comics as a kid, to see him beat up bank robbers. That's not that's 8% of the experience. That's not most of it. You know what I mean? It's insane. It's just when who's seeing Steppenwolf is hacking people in half, going, yeah, that's what I want to see. Yeah,
there are people out there. There are lots of them. Unfortunately, woo,
off the chain, yo. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Steppenwolf looks like he's covered in staples,
and Batman dropping the F-bomb is just has he ever cursed Batman? Like, I mean, like,
I don't know,
he's
and
usually
I
prim
don't.
and proper, and like, he's usually like he never lets himself get that angry. You know,
I'm
It's just
absolutely certain Batman has stubbed his toe and gone fuck before, but I don't. The thing is, I don't really care if Batman swears. I could conceivably see Batman swearing. It's the bragging about Batman swearing in your movie.
Yeah,
it's not like he's breaking some. He's not breaking some like code to me that I think is what's the word I'm looking for? Whatever. You can't touch it, but. It's the bragging. It's the bragging about the swearing.
So in a tipsy-topsy sort of where we're crazy, he had an actual like kind of better thought out reaction than Christopher Nolan to the controversy about putting these streaming on HBO Max, which is like shocking, but that's the world we're in right now.
Nolan's response was absolutely just ridiculous.
And I saw him say, well, you know, the actors are supposed to get a cut of the theatrical, and I'm like, I get that, but they got it. The studio's got to make their money back, or they're fucked. Like that's
if
what
you don't put out these movies, then the movies stop, and there's no more movies.
Then
for
there's
them
no more
to
new
be
movies.
In.
Then we can't make new movies. So it's like
you can cry and stomp your feet, and I kind of get the disappointment, but there's nothing else that anyone can do at this point.
So Snyder, to his credit, actually had a more nuanced reaction than Nolan did when it came to this. But also probably because he's getting tons of money from HBO to finish this.
Right.
That helps
He's
too.
getting a lot of money from HBO Max to do this.
Yeah. So I thought we were kind of getting real close to the ideal theatrical window where you still had marketing material out there, and you hadn't forgotten about the film by the time it came out on DVD or streaming. I thought we were starting to hone in on that sweet spot, but this kind of throws a monkey wrench in the works. Well, we got to get the vaccine. We got to get people. We got to get safe again.
Yeah, I mean,
like I said, in other parts of the world, they're doing better. So theatrical release in other parts of the world haven't been totally locked down like here.
I think China's back to theatrical releases.
Other parts of the world, we have what was it? I saw yesterday. We have 4% of the world's cases, 20% of the deaths in the world. So we are doing horribly at this. It's not lining up.
I had said something about Zack Snyder online when this came out last night, and someone responded to me, and they're like, yeah, Zack seems weird, but, you know, Joss Whedon's no better. And I'm saying that, and I'm thinking, and it's like, Joss Whedon is no good. Zack Snyder is no good. Christopher Nolan, no good. You know what the nice thing is? These people aren't running for an elected office. I don't have to pick one of them to like. I can just not like all three of them. It doesn't always have to be a competition.
Hey, Zack Snyder might be a fine person to get a sandwich with. Maybe talk about, but I don't want him directing my superhero movies.
Sure.
Like, that's the thing.
Sure.
I just don't.
I'd love to hear, well, maybe not. I was going to say, I'd love to hear his ideas for like a Powerpuff Girls or a Dexter's Lab reboot, but I probably wouldn't want to hear that.
Will it into existence, Zack Snyder.
You know, over a cup of coffee and a sandwich, but I don't want to see it come to fruition.
Powerpuff Girls breaking people's jaws and faces exploding when they punch them. That's his version of it. So anyway, I thought it was interesting that he actually had a more reasonable response to it, where it's like, yeah, it sucks. We thought we were getting somewhere. He said it was kind of a knee-jerk reaction, but
you can't be the worst person all the time.
No. And like I said, it's only when it comes to this. He's like in Arrested Development as a 15-year-old comic book fan when it comes to that stuff.
Sure.
Unfortunately, most 15-year-olds shouldn't be getting hundreds of millions of dollars to direct these big tentpole pictures. That's the problem.
Someone else put it as, never before has someone failed upwards so much that they're now flying, which is basically the truth.
Well, I don't know if he failed upwards. Like the Dawn of the Dead movie he did very well. I think that's what shot him up. And I saw that and enjoyed that Dawn of the Dead. Like I did. But Watchmen was not it. Was not it. And obviously 300. 300 was a huge success.
I forget that 300 was a huge success. I did not like it, but yes, it was a success. I can't take that away from him.
Honestly, that's his peak. Like
yes. That's
what he should be doing, that movie.
Yeah, because I think it was like Dawn of the Dead, 300, then Sucker Punch, then...
Watchmen was 2009.
Okay.
So if there was something between 300 and...
God, that long ago?
That's why I moved out here, partially. I mean, I came to Comic-Con. So that's why I thank Zack Snyder for that, for getting me out to California before I saw that trailer. I was like, yeah, that looks interesting, but that's not my Watchmen. But anyway, Zack Snyder is cool.
Thanks, Zacky Snacky.
Okay, SNK had a this is breaking
update.
I need a breaking more than an update there. SNK Global tweeted A brand new console is coming from SNK in 2021, a system to bridge the needs between passionate fans and console gaming enthusiasts. And then they had who is the best player with a little Wi-Fi symbol.
Yeah.
And Neo Geo is there. So my first thought is this can't be just a Neo Geo little all-in-one console, because then that's not fair. That's not a new console. It has nothing to do with gaming, like console gaming enthusiasts. It has to be something different.
Well, they considered the Neo Geo X to be a new console. I mean, so I don't think that SNK is going to come out and I don't think this is going to be a brand new console with, that they're courting developers to make brand new games for. I think this is likely going to be
a system to bridge the needs between passionate fans.
Advertising speak means nothing.
And console gaming enthusiasts with a Wi-Fi symbol.
It's
not going to be a version of Stadia, because that to me is not a system. That's a platform. It's not a console.
My guess is that it's going to be a collection of fighting games with online multiplayer. That's my guess.
Okay, definitely online multiplayer.
Yeah,
makes sense.
That's my guess. That's what it's going to be. They have, they've been releasing versions of a lot of their popular games with online play included on Steam and on consoles. Garo Mark of the Wolves. I think there's a Samurai Showdown 5. They released a version of King of Fighters 97 with online play. They did the Ultimate Match of 98 in 2002. So they have a lot of these one-off games that they've released with online capability built in.
They'll put them in a box then with some Wi-Fi or the internet.
My guess is that we're gonna, exactly. We'll get it in a plug-and-play box with
leaderboards
Wi-Fi
or whatever, and
precisely leaderboards and
track your stats. Okay, but that's a decent product.
That is something I think that has more appeal to me than just the mini consoles, because I would actually get a chance to play the games the way the majority of them are meant to be played, which is with someone else.
It doesn't have to be super expensive, because it's just going to be an emulator box thrown in a better shell. It could be $100 or so at most for all these games that give you a controller, and then maybe they give you a cool, like an old school Neo Geo controller.
I'm thinking they'll probably either pack in one of those CD pads or they'll pack in one of the sticks.
All right, but this could fulfill a little need that's not there. You're saying, like, that's the whole point about your console. Don't try to find a niche or need. You fill the hole of something that exists. Like, hey, people want to play all the these SNK fighters multiplayer in a nice way.
And I don't think it's. I mean, yes, maybe you can already do that. There's no need for this, but I think if you put them all in one place,
sure,
and you charge a reasonable amount for it, you're going to get people who buy it again just to have the
one
package.
ecosystem.
Plus, a Neo Geo collector is going to find that interesting.
Some crazy Neo Geo collector will want, like, oh, this is the new Neo Geo console, even though it's not really a new console.
Whereas I passed on the Mini, I would not pass on this if it's something remotely close to what we just described.
Okay, well, that's interesting. And then finally, and a sad note, Pornhub was big news. In the big news, they got rid of like all of their non-verified videos on Pornhub, which was like most of them. So, like, I guess they have a system where it's like YouTube, where you get verified, like you're the person uploading the videos you create. So if you just upload random videos, that's all gone on Pornhub now, which is like people were saying, crying, oh, my playlist is gone, all my stuff, because that's how Pornhub existed, by people uploading, like YouTube or uploading random shit. Then it got into, wow, now porn stars are using it in companies. So on a funnier note, I had a video on Pornhub before you go nuts. Someone took all the dominatrix parts from my old Alicia Dragoon video from 2011 and just put up like her 4 minutes of screen time and just put it up on a video on Pornhub. So that's gone, unfortunately. And I tweeted that out yesterday, and I thought that was funny. What was more important though is that they didn't take the uncensored version from the DVD. Now I'm advertising that you can buy the DVD with the uncensored one. They took the blurry YouTube one where you don't see the boobies. So if you want that, you can go to ultimatenintendo.com and buy Pat the NES Punk Volume 3, and you can get that uncensored Alicia Dragoon version. I just thought that was funny. That's all. Did you have a video on Pornhub, in a secret video that's now gone? No. Did you know anyone who had a secret video on Pornhub that's now gone? That's gone? I knew one person that had videos on Pornhub.
Not to my knowledge.
Not to your knowledge. Okay. Well, there you go. For anyone out there that's saddened about that, there's always other alternative sites. All right, that's it for the intro. We're done.